everyone, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today, since this is my first voiceover I'm doing, I basically just wanted to talk about the pros and cons of being an artist and what I like and dislike about being an artist, or in the art community in general. The first thing that I dislike about being an artist is the fact that some people think that if you're an artist, you don't make much money and you're very poor. But this isn't really completely true, as there are a lot more job options for artists now, and you may not start off great, but if you keep working at it, there could be a lot of opportunities coming to you. I see a lot of artists turning to YouTube and social media and even making their own websites to sell their prints that they create for really nice prices. Some may be really expensive, but some artists also spend a really long time on their work, and they spend a lot of money on materials sometimes. Some artists actually sell a lot of prints at conventions and make a living off of that, which I think is actually a really fun idea, because you get to make money while also going to a convention that may or may not interest you. But if you're just going there to make money, I have a feeling that it would get really stressful or boring depending on how many customers you actually have. You don't always have to go to college to be a successful artist, but if you want the experience or a degree or just to really master your craft, I think it's best to go to college. But it's really just your call, but it also depends on what you plan to do as an artist as well. Another thing I don't like about being an artist is how long I take to complete a single drawing, because sometimes this could take me up to a week depending on how detailed my base sketch is, but it also depends on if I want to make a simple design for a portrait or if I want to do a really detailed landscape drawing. And I don't really like to do landscape drawings, and they're a bit difficult for me. I don't know why, it just is. But one of these days, I will challenge myself a bit to actually draw a landscape painting. I really want to get better at it, but yeah, my drawings can take me a really long time to do, and sometimes I have a deadline and they stress me out about it because I want to get it completed on time. And the thing about that is that I tend to burn myself out pretty quickly, and it's not fun dealing with burnout. One thing I really like about being an artist is that I basically get to draw whatever I want, and getting better at my craft is just really rewarding and satisfying to me. Just seeing yourself as an artist grow, you can look at your drawings and it can feel so drastic, and looking back to your old art that you drew and the art that you draw now can make you feel like you've achieved something amazing in life. Getting better at my art makes me really happy, and I want to continue doing what I love. I also really like to entertain, which may be fairly obvious, but the reason why I started up a channel in the first place is to give people a break from their day and help people just kind of unwind and relax after a stressful day at work or whatever the case is. I want to help people laugh and smile, and it really makes me happy when I see other people happy and just help other people, I guess. I can easily say another thing that I don't like about the art community is how much art theft happens, and it happens a lot more than you may think. There's also an argument going around that it's not okay to use references, and some people say that it makes you not a real artist if you use references, but in reality, references are perfectly fine. Sometimes they can actually help you master your craft or find your own art style. They help beginners and even professionals a lot. That's right, even professionals use references sometimes, and that is perfectly okay. Using references isn't art theft either, but sometimes it could come to that if you use it too much and just trace everything that you draw. Using a reference does not mean to trace someone else's artwork and just completely claim it as your own. That is art theft, and it is never okay. Like I said, I spend a lot of time on my art pieces, and a lot of other artists out there do too. And to finish an art piece that you just took almost a month to finish, and just basically having it stolen from you and ripped away from you without receiving the proper credit that you deserve can be really frustrating and even degrading for another artist to deal with. Some people even get sued for art theft, so it's actually just really not worth it to steal someone else's art. There is one other thing that I wanted to talk about, and this problem is actually getting more common in the art community. Some artists actually start a lot of drama on social media, and it's interesting, but also very annoying. Usually most of the drama that these artists start is over someone possibly copying someone else's art style, or there could be an artist that is being put down by another artist simply just because of the fact that the artist doesn't like them. Most of it is just really petty stuff that I never want to get into because it just seems annoying to deal with in general, and I don't like causing problems anyways. This seems to be happening a lot more and more often, and it honestly sucks. Because sometimes this makes other artists, even just beginners, afraid to even come into the art community. It can be really intimidating and unpleasant to newcomers, and if that's their first impression of the art community, they probably won't even come back to it, which is really sad. If you're looking to get better at art and you're not really happy with how your art is turning out right now, the best advice that I can give you is to 1. Use references, 2. Watch tutorial videos, and 3. Practice a lot, but also the most important thing is to not give up. I see so many beginners just give up because of the fact that they're not happy with how their art is turning out at the moment, and it's sad to see someone just throw away a talent like that. For those people who aren't happy with the art, I can say just stick with it and practice and just do it, because people do learn at their own pace and people learn different ways, so stick with it and eventually you'll get somewhere. For me, I also just tried to give up a long time ago when I was trying to get better at art, and I feel comfortable with the place I am in now, and I can easily say that I personally love my art, but there is still room for me to improve, and there is always room for improvement in the art community. So yeah, just stick with it and you'll get somewhere, and you will eventually get opportunities, and you'll find your own art style eventually. Finding your own art style is actually pretty difficult at first, but once you actually get into it, it actually becomes a little more easy than you may think it was at the beginning. If you're a really young artist out there and you're being put down by your parents specifically, or probably even your teachers or your friends just because they don't like the way you draw right now, and you really want to pursue this career in the future, I'd say follow what you think is best. Like, what you think will work for you. Like, do you want to continue what you want to do, but also do another job on the side just to make sure that you're still getting the proper income that you need? And yeah, I personally am really okay with what I do, and my mom was actually pretty scared when I was going into the art world, and I'll get more into that in the future, but she was afraid that I was going to probably even end up homeless and she would have to support me, but I'm fine. It will be okay. If you just continue to get better and you just don't give up, it will be okay. I promise. Well, that's it for this video. I'll try to post at least once a week if possible, and have a good day or night or wherever you are, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't steal art, kids. Cheerio!